Okay, so I need to turn on my phone, right?
You are streaming now.
I am live. Okay, so what do I do? Hit this.
No, you're already live.
Okay, so we're actually live right now on Twitch.
Yes, you absolutely are.
All right. Well,
Give it a few moments and we'll start saying things.
okay. So, when do you want to begin?
I want to make sure it says that you're.
Okay, we'll just wait here. Colby, I'll leave that one for you. Oh, you good?
I'm not entirely sure how that fell, but
Weird. So, we just got back from the Elton John concert in Arlington at Globe Life Field or Globe Life Stadium?
yeah, Globe Life Field.
Okay.
It was actually really good, really
Yeah.
cool. First time I've ever been to that venue, and I've been to quite a few concerts.
I've been to
myself.
Dickies. I've been to the old ones, like Starplex, and I really like that place. It was just the only thing that bothered me was the signage.
Yeah, you're showing live.
Okay.
All right.
How about this?
Let's just some introduction. You don't need it.
It won't
Yeah,
show. It won't show it.
We're good.
All right.
Let's introduce ourselves.
My name is John Shellsmith, and I'm the owner of Audio Depot in Arlington, Texas. And this is our very first live stream since going into video. And I used to do a podcast, and now the podcast has evolved into a new type of show with video. And we had, in the past, it was just a podcast, and we talked about the advantages of getting Lumar window tint and how safe it is, how much protection you get when you try to cool yourself down and do all that other stuff. So we're still here tinting windows. We're also doing our same old audio, navigation, Bluetooth, all that stuff. But we're kind of expanding now into other areas. And just a few minutes ago, we got back from Elton John. And
Yep.
so we're going to talk about that because that is just fresh in our minds. It's, definitely directly.
Well, Elton John, ZZ Top.
Oh, yeah.
Jeff Beck.
So
Ann
last
Wilson.
week,
It's been a few.
In the past week, we've seen ZZ Top, Beck, Jeff Beck, Ann Wilson, and now Elton John. And I've seen 4 concerts in the month of September. I saw Robert Plant and Alison Krauss, Sammy Hagar and the Circle, and then ZZ Top, Beck, and Jeff Beck, and Ann Wilson, and then Elton John. Best month of my life as far as concerts go. And I think I saw them in all different places. I saw Allison and Robert Plant at the Texas Trust Credit Union, which used to be Nokia, and they have the best sound, period. And then we went to Sammy Hagar and the Circle at Toyota Music Factory Pavilion. Fantastic, great show, lots of energy. And then ZZ Top and Jeff Beck and Ann Wilson at Starplex. And then we rounded it out with the Globe Life Field. So, I mean, that's really cool. 4 different venues, 4 different shows in 4 weeks.
Definitely 4 different experiences. Which is your favorite of all the shows?
Oh, my God. The favorite for all 4 shows, Jeff Beck. And that's saying a lot because I just got back from Elton John.
Right.
But, okay, let me contextualize this. When you see Elton John, that is a Rock and Roll Hall of Famer of the highest order. And you said it, he had the slow songs, the pop songs, and then he had the heavy rock and funky rock and roll in your face stuff. Okay, so he's got it all covered. And that's exactly what I texted to my friend Ben, who plays a lot of music with me. He covers it all, okay? He's got the heavy guitars, and then he's got the strings. He's got it all. And the hits. There really isn't a whole lot better than Elton John as far as like radio tunes. He has that covered. He's the best. And then we saw, Jeff Beck do some otherworldly things with an electric guitar that I've never seen before.
He lived on the.
I
don't know. That's a tremolo bar. That's a tremolo,
tremolo,
right?
yeah, or tremolo.
Tremolo.
So he
we
plays
got Doom Tracks in the house.
Doom Tracks is in the house. Hey, what's happening? So the hardest thing in the world is to describe what Jeff Beck did to my brain that day, because it's not like he played straightforward 4x4 rock street. None of that 4/4.
He makes Tool look like they're doing basic music.
I didn't say that, man, but whatever. Tool is syncopated, really a heavy, concoction of math and music. I mean, they really keep it in time, baby. What Beck does is he's your guide on a psychedelic journey without the LSD. He puts you someplace else. When you're done, you are completely separated from where you started. You have moved. You have seen something, felt something, heard something, did something, and then he goes like this. and not in a cocky way. He's just, I think what he's trying to say is, I'm just here. I'm a channel. Something happens. It comes to me. I do this. This is what I do. I'm not trying to sell albums. I'm just here. I'm here for you. And he would go like that sometimes and just go, that was for you. This is for all of us. And we ended up, I was looking around like, what the hell just happened in my head, man? And I was telling you and Kenya, I can play guitar. I am a functional guitarist. I can read music and do that, but I can't do what he can do.
Right.
That is a separate approach. The way he touches that tremolo bar, and then
and his finger picking is out of this world too.
No pick. This is it.
Yeah.
And he just kind of rolls these volume knobs up and down and moves things. And suddenly, and it didn't look like he had a whole lot of effects pedals. He would just sit there.
Jim says, you look so good in that audio room.
Oh, thanks, man. I hope you tell the truth. I feel like hammered dog shit.
And he's loving the show already.
Well, so our purpose here is to touch on all things audio. Okay, the production of audio, like Doom Tracks, and the reproduction of audio, which is what you see here. Okay. I'm very lucky. I've been doing this for 29 years. I took a lot of classes, been to a lot of studios, and I'm still learning. I'm still trying to grasp the concept of composition, mixing, and then ultimately performance. And I have been given such a treat by seeing guys in bluegrass bands like with Robert Plant, and then heavy metal, straightforward rock with Sammy Hagar, and then Texas fried rock with the ZZ Top song.
Right.
And then the one and only Jeff Beck. We're just going to... So if you know who Todd Rundgren is, are you familiar with Todd Rundgren?
I've heard the name.
Okay. So Todd Rundgren is one of the most successful producers, or the most successful producer, because he produced Bat Out of Hell for Meatloaf. Okay.
Yeah.
And he also has like 20 songs of his own. He plays with Ringo Starr.
Who was his primary songwriter? I forget.
Jim Steinman.
That's
so
right.
It was Todd, Jim, Meatloaf. Todd and Jim actually kind of did everything, and then Meatloaf was the finishing touch. He belted it out. But Todd Rundgren said that Jeff Beck was the greatest guitarist. It was just a casual conversation. Hey, Todd, what's going on? So who's the best guitarist? Jeff Beck. And he said it, no hesitation. And I was like, oh, come on, man. Just what? Just Jeff Beck. Come on. And then I saw what happened the other night.
Was that your first and
second
only
time to see Jeff Beck, but not in this way. See, he was at Crossroads in 2004 with Eric Clapton, Steve Vai, Joe Walsh, B.B. King at the Cotton Bowl. Oh, yeah, blow your head off. But everybody was doing 2 or 3 songs, and then another person would come in and they'd do some songs. It was a real community effort. And then the last band at the Crossroads was ZZ Top. Go figure, Cotton Bowl, Texas. Who else you going to get? I don't think there's a whole lot else there. You just put ZZ Top at the top. Well, because that's Billy Gibbons.
Right.
I mean, that dude is pure feel. He's smooth, man. That dude's like, I don't know. He's got such a touch. And then, you know, I always say that, you know, the best concerts are the ones where it's a guitar lesson. Well, tonight was a performance lesson. The way that
Elton John performed.
yeah,
Yeah.
he would walk around, and while he's walking around, people are just getting more and more excited. Did you notice that?
People just love him. Man.
He would go, he just kind of point, and everybody's like, and then he walks around, and it just gets louder and louder. I mean, you would think it would get louder when he's playing piano. No, it's just when he's walking around, making his way, you know.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, everybody's screaming and cheering, and this guy, he just walked around. He'd been sitting 10, 20 minutes behind the piano. As soon as he comes away from the piano, the place goes crazy nuts. And it was I've never seen anybody with that kind of like connection. Does that make sense? Real connection.
Absolutely.
Yeah, just a different deal. I mean, I've seen some good frontman, really good, like Roth, Paul Stanley.
Yeah.
You know, these guys have been doing it a long time, and they know exactly how to get a crowd in a frenzy. But this guy, oh man, he just smiles and they just go crazy. But and he wasn't feeling. He admitted he wasn't 100%, but he was feeling lots better because he had.
I mean, he had COVID, and I
just
had to cancel the first attempts to come into Dallas, and then, man, that thing's a beast. But I mean, and that was. I'm glad that. Fortunate that. Unfortunate that he got sick, but fortunate that I was able to. Because the first time he came to town, it was completely sold out. I would not have had the chance to see him.
We are so lucky that he made his way back around, and he said that this is the last time he's going to do Dallas. That was it. He went down the list. I've played 255 shows on this tour. This is the 80th time I've played in the state of Texas. Played here 2 times earlier.
This has been a 3+ year farewell tour, and I think he truly means it, unlike a lot of other rock bands that say
like
that.
Gene Simmons. So if you ever ask for business advice from Gene Simmons, and they say, "Well, Gene, what should I do?" and he's one word, just tour.
Yeah, it's merchandise and getting your name out there.
Yeah, he just tours, and that's all he does. He doesn't have there's nothing else for him to do because. Would you want Gene at your house? Hanging out? What are you going to do? He doesn't drink. He doesn't smoke. He just eats yogurt. He spits blood and eats yogurt, you know. And he likes to buy things and sell things. He's a businessman 24/7, so he likes to tour. But but I think you're right. I think that Elton was ready to go to the next destination, finish that whole thing, and he did a great. I just like the way that he did that whole show. I like the
multiple intermissions, costume changes.
Sure. Oh yeah.
And everything. Yeah. It was.
And then the really heavy, almost like operatic. I kept thinking of Phantom of the Opera. And a little bit of confetti at the end. Really cool, complimentary graphics. I had a really good time, and. His band was just, man, they were so tight. What is it? Ray Porter, the percussion guy? Mm-hmm. Guy with all the tape on his fingers. No, is it Ray Copper? Or what was his last name? The guy? I have to look it up.
With Elton John?
Yeah, with Elton John. And the third percussionist. He had Nigel, and then he had the other gentleman, and then he had the guy up high.
Let's look him up.
Ray Cooper, maybe? We'll looking it up. But anyways, yeah, those guys pretty much top of their game, best in the business and best on the road, and boy howdy. And you don't ever want to say this, but I mean you can't assume that these guys are going to be around much longer, 75 years old, all bets are off,
Who were you saying?
Ray
Cooper.
Ray Cooper, I was right. Okay, Ray Cooper. Oh, love that guy. And I saw Ray Cooper and Elton John about 1992, 92 or 93 on the Unplugged tour. It was just the two of them. One piano, one percussionist. That was it. And a light. It was like a light. And they turned on the light.
It was Davey, Nigel, and
Davey and Nigel
Ray
have been there for
forever.
53 years, man. Yeah. Yeah, the lights were great. Sound was really good. I was worried about that, but they had it all perfectly tuned. I had great seats. You had great seats. Lots of friends in the audience everywhere. God, man, lots of glitter. Folks wearing lots of glitter. Yeah, and lots of big glasses. It was cool, you know. It reminded me of like a Kiss concert because everybody dresses up as Kiss when they go. And this was they had guys in the Dodger uniforms, baseball uniforms. They had girls and everything. And he did Philadelphia Freedom, and he did everything. He just did everything. God, man, it was so. I think he was almost about to cry one time. I really do think he was. I think he was really kind of sad about not coming back. I mean, I really feel like he was genuinely moved, and he seemed like a really good neighbor. Like you could just count on him. One of those nice people. Mm-hmm. Hey, got a flat tire. Hey, I'll be right there. He just seems like that kind of person. If he was somebody other than Elton John,
right.
At his core, he was a really good guy. It's that time. So remember, folks, go to the State Fair, Texas. It starts today. Get your Halloween, costumes ready. If you come into Audio Depot with a State Fair of Texas ticket or something, we'll give you a deal. If you come in dressed up in a costume, we will think of something fun to do. We'll give you a deal. Jonathan is working on that. He's doing the scary promotions for the month because October is Halloween month. And get your cars tinted. You need the protection. I don't know how many people in my family that have had skin cancer. The weather's getting hot. I'm not going to go into it. You know it's hot, and you know why it's hot. Well, it's hotter than hell now. And it was 107 at times during the summer. I got into some cars. It was 114. Okay. You can tint the windshield in Texas. You just have to, be aware of it. And it will really help. And I tell people, why would you leave your front door open and turn on your air conditioner?
Yeah.
Okay. Then why wouldn't you tint the biggest window in your car? The biggest window in your car, the most important window to tint, is your windshield.
I mean, I talked to you about that myself.
They're staring. You're looking out that windshield into the sun. Sometimes you need help blocking that and knocking down the glare. It'll do. Air 90 is what it's called. It lets in 90% of the light, knocks out 99% of the UV rays, and then it also knocks out 28% of the heat, which is huge. And it's all we can do. That's all the state of Texas will let us do. So just do it. Some cars are $150. Some cars are $250 to do the windshield. It's a smart idea,
You hear it here first.
Yeah, and I've been preaching that for 6 years now. This is, this is first time we've ever done Twitch, and I'm kind of liking it. I'm ready to do something. I'm ready to really, start showing some new products. I'll have some folks in here coming up in the near future, and we'll do some unveilings. We'll have like the new Sony radios, the new Alpine amps, the new woofers, new products from Memphis, DD, Powerbase. We're very fortunate. We have a good location, centrally located between Dallas and Fort Worth. If you can't make it here, I totally get it. Always go to a authorized dealer that is manufactured approved to put in their product. I don't know how many times I have to fix things. I have to take things out of people's cars and start over. And, do it right and do it right the first time. And don't hurry. And don't hurry the people that are installing it. Because I tell them, if you hurry me, I'm not interested. You can either have it right or you can have it right now.
Right.
That's it. Either you do it in a controlled fashion, pace yourself. Give me the keys. I'll call you later. And then no problems,
Yep.
So
any final words before we wrap up?
Yeah, let's everybody take care of yourself and smile. It makes you look younger. Have a nice evening, y'all.
Take care.